A vice president of operations told me she was running two AI pilots at the same time. First group, new hires. Average tenure, under 1 year. Second group, senior engineers. Some of them had been there longer than the VP herself. A few months later, she checked in. The new hires were using the tool constantly. The senior engineers were using it to write emails, mostly to each other, complaining about the tool. Here's the thing, the veterans weren't wrong. They just had more to lose. Today, AI for new hires or veterans. The answer changes everything about how you deploy. So let's dig in. Welcome to Binary Business. I'm Will Guidry. Every episode, we take a real business decision, strip out the noise, and run it through a binary filter. Because the operators who get AI right don't just pick the right tool, they pick the right audience. Let's get stuck in. Most companies make this decision by accident. They buy the AI tool, HR adds it to new hire onboarding because it's new and new hires get new things. Then someone in leadership says, hey, why aren't our senior people using this? And suddenly you've got a mandate. Everybody has to use the AI. Happy Tuesday. Except mandates don't change behavior. They just change what people say in meetings. Here's what's actually going on. New hires don't have existing workflows to protect. They don't have a method they've refined over 15 years. They don't have a reputation built on doing things a specific way. They come in and they just use the tools that are in front of them. No friction, no identity threat, no, well, back in my day we did this with a spreadsheet and we liked it. Veterans are different, and this is not an insult, it's an observation. A senior engineer who's been solving problems the same way for 12 years isn't resistant to AI because they're old and stubborn. They're resistant because their method works. They're productive. They're respected for their expertise. AI doesn't immediately look like an upgrade. It looks like a threat to all of that. So the question isn't really who adapts faster. It's who has the most incentive to change. And the answer is almost never who you think. So let's run this through the binary decision scorecard. 7 tests, yes or no. The decision we're trying to make, deploy AI tools primarily to the new hires first or to the veterans. Test number 1, does this create leverage? The answer is yes. New hires with AI can punch well above their experience level. A 6-month employee with good AI tools can produce work that used to require 3 years of ramp up. That's genuine leverage. You're compressing the productivity curve in this case. But here's the catch. New hires don't know what they don't know. AI can help them move faster in the wrong direction. Just faster. So leverage, yes, but supervised leverage. Test number 2. Does this relieve the primary constraint in the business? It depends. I hate that answer, but it's true. If your constraint is capacity, you don't have enough people doing enough work, then new hires with AI relieves that. If your constraint is institutional knowledge, you need people who understand why decisions are made 3 years ago or yesterday. Then the veterans have that knowledge. The AI doesn't. So ask yourself, what's actually slowing you down right now? Test number 3. Will the benefits compound over time? Yes, if you do it right. New hires who learn to work with AI from day one develop habits that compound. In 2 years, they're not just AI users, they're AI native operators. That's a different kind of employee. That's a long-term moat. Compare that to veterans who adopt AI reluctantly at year 10, say. They'll use it, but they'll use it the way some people use a GPS. They'll follow the directions, then second-guess them and take the shortcut they always took. Turn left in 400 feet. Yeah, I don't think so. Test 4. Does this build a moat or rent someone else's? Well, surely in some ways you're renting the AI tool. That's part of the rent. But the culture of AI-first thinking is what you build in your workforce. That's yours. New hires who grow up inside an AI-native culture carry that with them. Veterans converted to AI users don't always do that. Test 5. Does this reduce dependency on fragile processes? This is where veterans win, hands down. A veteran using AI is augmenting judgment that already exists. They know the business. They know where the edge cases are. They know which client calls for a specific approach. A new hire running AI output through 6 months of experience might not catch what's wrong. They might not even know that there's something wrong. They'll deliver the output with confidence. Wrong, but confident. I've seen this happen in legal. A junior associate used AI to draft a contract clause. It was technically accurate. It was strategically terrible. A senior attorney caught it in review because the senior attorney remembered a deal 3 years earlier where the exact clause caused a problem. The AI had no memory of that deal. The new hire had never seen it. Test 6. Will you get a clear signal in 30 to 60 days? Yes. New hire adoption rates versus veteran adoption rates are measurable, visible, and obvious within a month. You'll know exactly who's using it, how, and what impact it's having. That's actionable data. Test 7. Is this aligned with where the business is going? Yes. Most businesses are building AI native operations. Starting that culture with new hires is perfectly aligned. You're building the future team the way you want it to operate. Veterans can learn, but culture is easier to install than it is to retrofit. So let's look at the scorecard results. Deploy AI to new hires first if you got 5 to 6 out of 7 yeses. That's conditional to high leverage territory. Execute it right and it pays off. But you can't ignore your veterans. That's not a pilot program, that's a palace coup. Before we go further, this exact decision is what the binary decision scorecard was built for. 7 binary tests, yes or no answers, no corporate committee required. Grab your free scorecard in the description below. All right, let's talk about the veterans because they deserve a whole section. Let's run this through the ABCD framework. Audience, build, convert, deliver. Season 1 is all about audience. This episode lives right at the heart of it. The audience for your AI deployment is not employees. It's specific people with specific incentives and specific fears. For new hires, there's low switching costs. There's no established workflow to protect. High curiosity, high compliance. They'll use what you give them because they don't know there's an alternative. For veterans, on the other hand, there's a high switching cost, deep expertise, and strong identity. They're not afraid of technology. They're afraid of irrelevance. AI looks like a signal that what they know doesn't matter anymore. If you want veteran adoption, you have to flip the narrative. Don't sell AI as a replacement for their expertise. Sell it as an amplifier. There's a meaningful difference between the AI can do your job and the AI can make your expertise do more work. One of those is a threat. The other one is a promotion. B is for build. New hire AI programs build fast. You can wire it into the onboarding in a week. Add it to their toolkit, show them how to use it, done. The build is simple because there's nothing to unbuild first. Veteran programs are harder. You're not just building, you're rebuilding. You're asking someone to modify habits that have been working for years. That takes workshops, champions, visible use case wins early. The mistake most companies make, they build both programs exactly the same and wonder why one works and the other doesn't. C is for convert. New hire conversion to AI usage is almost automatic if the tool is decent and the onboarding is clear. Veteran conversion is a sales job, literally. You're selling change to people who are currently successful. That's the hardest sell in business. If you can find 2 or 3 veterans who become visible AI advocates, people their peers respect, veteran adoption triples. You're not convincing a skeptic with data. You're showing one skeptic watching another skeptic say, actually, this works. That's different. D is for deliver. Long term, you want both. AI native new hires growing into the business. Veterans augmented by AI, not replaced by it. New hires with AI scale capacity. Veterans with AI scale quality. You need both. Okay, let's land the plane. If you're trying to build AI native culture fast, start with new hires. Build it into onboarding. Make it the way that work gets done from day one. If you're trying to get maximum output for your AI investment, get your veterans engaged. Find the early adopters and let them win publicly. Watch the skeptics follow. The real mistake, picking one and ignoring the other. New hires without veterans will accelerate into walls they don't know are there. Veterans without AI can be productive today and obsolete in 3 years. One group has speed without judgment, and you guessed it, the other has judgment without speed. You need both. The job is to get them in the same room learning from each other. So if this hit home for you, subscribe so you can get the next one automatically. And hit the like button. It helps other operators find this show, and apparently the algorithm takes it personally when you don't. Grab the binary decision scorecard. It's free in the link below in the description. Same 7 tests we just ran, ready for your next decision. This is Binary Business. All signal, no noise.